Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist JD Disharoon here, and we do have a First Alert weather day for today, tomorrow, and in your Monday. But wanted to start off with something a little bit different because it's not every day we get to talk about earthquakes here in North Georgia. So preliminarily, about a 4.1 located about 40 miles south of Knoxville, Tennessee. What we have up right now is a map showing you the reports of where we felt the shaking, so to speak. So basically what you're seeing are reports from what people called in and said, hey, I kind of felt the shaking this morning. The darker the color, the heavier the shaking. Now, this is only a 4.1, so we're not seeing any darker colors like oranges or reds or purples or anything like that. But you notice pretty good concentration there south of Knoxville all the way down towards the North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee triple point where the state lines come together, and plenty of green dots around North Georgia, ranging everywhere from almost Macon in through the metro Atlanta area and then up 85, 75, and 400. So lots of folks definitely felt it this morning, and not only here, but also in Nashville, over in Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham area. So it just goes to show you that even some of these relatively, I'll say, weaker earthquakes, even though it's pretty strong for our area, you can feel them from quite some time. So just a nice little quirk there for the morning to start you off for this Mother's Day weekend. Meanwhile, as we take a look at your First Alert radar, it's looking pretty wet there. In fact, as we zoom in a little bit to the south, you can see down in Macon, we're dealing with a bit of moisture that's going to continue to push up now a little bit into metro area. Most of this now is concentrated on the eastern side of the metro into the south side as well. But if you go out to Carrollton, we do have some heavier showers out that way, just not as widespread, and same for folks up into Forsyth and Hall County. So, we're going to continue to watch these rounds of rain move through as we head throughout the rest of the evening and into the overnight hours. But overall, I think it's going to be predominantly rain, and here's the reason why. We were talking about this in the earlier stream if you were with us. It's the temperatures. The heavier showers and storms are staying south of this front. So that means we're going to be seeing most of the showers and storms either along the front, like we were seeing in the Macon area and over towards Eatonton, or south of it, where we have the 70s set up. As for most of our area, we're in the 50s right now. So we're not going to be seeing too much in the way of really anything but some heavier rain. Now, we do expect, though, warmer temperatures to work their way in as we head into tomorrow. So that will increase our chances of thunderstorms. I think we could see some tomorrow. And I think Monday, though, is also going to be the best chance to see some thunder and lightning across North Georgia. So let's go ahead and time this out for you for the rest of the evening. Obviously, here's that band of rain that's moving to the eastern side of the city. We'll continue to watch just scattered showers, rain heavy at times through early tomorrow morning. Could be walking out the door to an early morning Sunday service with some wet conditions out there. We'll be noticing that maybe basically some heavier downpours, but not a lot of them. In fact, I think most of Mother's Day is just going to be that hit and miss shower and storm until we get to the early afternoon. And then I think more widespread rains are going to roll in for your afternoon hours, into your evening, and then overnight on into Monday. Now, because of this, we do, and especially due to the fact that we've already had a lot of rain today, last night, we do have a slight flash flood risk for tomorrow. So it goes marginal, slight, moderate, high. Easiest way to remember is tomorrow is a level 2 out of 4 for basically folks south of Interstate 20. So if you're going to be in Carrollton, Atlanta, Eatonton, Augusta, and south of that, we're going to be noticing a pretty decent chance for some flash flooding as we head, especially into tomorrow evening when that heavier rain moves in, and then overnight into Monday morning, because here's where it is on Monday. Notice most of metro Atlanta is included in this, and then northern and eastern suburbs as well, and also really pretty much everyone in the metro except for folks out into western Paulding County, Carroll County, Newton County. You're in that level 1 risk. Everybody else pretty much is in that level 2. So, we've been talking about the heavier rain, and we've been thankful that the severe threat is relatively low for this particular event. But flooding is going to be a concern, especially as we head into the next, few days, because look at this, we're talking widespread amounts possible of, another additional 2 to 3 inches, particularly in the east and northeastern portions of the state. That's where we're going to see those heavier rain bands set up. So overall, it's going to be a very, very wet next couple of days. Now, kind of bringing it around to you right now, here's what we're looking at across the city. We're going to be seeing at Hartsfield very gloomy conditions, temperatures in the upper 50s. I can't remember, honestly, the last time I've needed a jacket during the afternoon in the month of May. Now, don't get me wrong, May does have some chilly mornings from time to times, but for the afternoon, it's quite uncommon for us to need that jacket with us throughout the day. And notice that 24-hour temperature change. 20 degrees below where we were this time yesterday, and we've already picked up almost a ½ inch of rain this morning, with obviously more to come as we head into the rest of the afternoon. Here's how much cooler it is. Almost everyone south of Interstate 85 is looking at about 20 degrees cooler than we saw this time yesterday. If you're not to that point, everybody looking at about 14 to 20 degrees cooler. So this is a huge change between the temperatures today and yesterday. And honestly, yesterday wasn't super warm. You know, we were seeing temperatures in the mid 70s, but overall, you know, it's not like we were even average. Average this time of year is 80 degrees. We weren't even at that. We were still below average, and we knocked another 20 off. Now, as we take a look at temperatures right now, these are pretty much the temperatures you're going to wake up to tomorrow. We're not going to see a huge change in what you're going to be feeling right now and what you're feeling tomorrow morning. So that means most folks are going to be waking up into the mid 50s as you walk out the door for your Sunday morning. Now, Mother's Day is starting off cool, but thankfully a little warmer by the afternoon. Unfortunately, though, that warmth will come with the potential to get a little bit of thunderstorm activity. Notice, though, it's going to be slow to warm. By 9 a.m., still only dealing with about 61 degrees. We're not going to warm up super much. We're still going to be a good 10 degrees below average for tomorrow, with highs upper 60s, lower 70s. I think the farther north and east you go, basically up 85, 985, the cooler it's going to be, because that's where the heavier rain bands are going to set up for your Sunday. The rest of us, though, maybe some lower 70s, kind of trying to pop in here from time to time. But overall, we're going to be looking at a cooler day. Now, what about Monday? So Monday is when we expect to see even warmer air moving. That's where we have thunderstorms that are going to be rolling through the region, and that's when we're going to see those temperatures climbing back up into the mid 70s. So, you know, it's basically going to, the warmer we get, the better our thunderstorm chances are going to be. Now, our severe outlook for Monday shows us that we do have a marginal risk, level 1 threat for the day. Now, earlier today in South Georgia, we did see some thunderstorms with some very large hail, and we saw a few isolated tornado warnings that were issued. That's what we're going to be looking at for Monday. The potential for tornadoes is extremely low, but it's not zero. So there is the potential for that to be there. I think the bigger threat for us, though, is going to be some gusty winds and some very large hail, and also the potential for some trees to come down, because as much moisture as we're getting, the soils are going to get super saturated, especially by tomorrow evening on in towards Monday morning. And that soil saturation is going to loosen the root structures of the trees. They're not going to have as much to hold on to. And unfortunately, I do think we are going to start to see a little bit of that activity with the tree coming down late Sunday into Monday, which could also, unfortunately, as we know, cause some power outages as well. So overall, here's the 7-day forecast. You know, we've been talking about the moisture going through. First alert weather days for tomorrow and Monday. In fact, Monday, we're up to about a 90% chance of rain. Tuesday, during the morning hours, we're going to be looking for a better chance of rain. I don't think we're going to dry out completely during the afternoon, but I think our rain chances will start to go down as we head into your Tuesday. Highs are going to be right around 76. Finally, by Wednesday, the moisture starts to pull out. Now, as that happens, we're going to see the temperatures start to go up. So 82 for Wednesday, 87 for Thursday, with the rain chances finally gone, and possibly our first 90-degree day of the year on Friday. Not all models agree on it actually hitting 90 degrees, but the majority of them do, and a few of them have us trying to get up into the mid-90s. Now, heading into next weekend, maybe the potential for some more moisture to work its way in towards North Georgia. Right now, looking at a 30% chance of afternoon showers and storms, with highs up near 90 degrees. So again, next 48 hours is going to be a little bit on the weather side. And just right before we go, I do want to run through this timing once again. So for those of you looking for your Mother's Day plans, here it is. We'll notice those widespread showers as we head into the evening hours, more isolated to scattered in nature as we get into tomorrow morning. And then by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, it becomes a little bit more widespread, especially once we get 2 p.m. and later. So if you have any afternoon plans with mom, make sure they're indoors. You know, honestly, I wouldn't even roll the dice when we have those lower rain chances earlier in the day, because just if your luck is just like mine, it's just going to end up where you're at. Overall, though, once we get past 4 p.m., I really want you folks to pay attention, especially if you're in flood-prone areas, due to that flash flooding risk for the South Metro and folks south of I-20. So again, not a lot of severe threat for tomorrow. And honestly, Monday, it's on the lower end. So I don't want this to get lost in the mix. The biggest threat I think we're going to be looking at is the potential for flash flooding Sunday into Monday. So again, time to be weather aware and weather prepared. And the easiest way to do that is to download the First Alert weather app from your iOS or your Android device store. It'll give you warnings for your area. It'll also show you the live radar on the palm of your hand and give you Atlanta's most accurate 7-day forecast.
On your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text weather to the number on your screen and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.